audience. Once upon a time, there lived a man called Nnebe. He was a very greedy man who did not care about anything but money. He loved money so much that he could sell his soul for money if the opportunity arises. Nnebe was married and had two daughters named Cheta and Dima who were very beautiful. He was a village mechanic who repaired bicycles and motorcycles, and he always had issues with lots of his customers due to his greed. Customers always complained about missing parts of their bicycles or even replaced parts that were changed and replaced with rusty and old ones, and this made their bicycles faulty in no time. Nnebe was always in one trouble or the other because he wanted to make quick money at the detriment of others. And this has gotten him arrested by the police on various counts as customers continually laid complaints against him. Nnebe even went as far as getting into fights with his customers if he felt he had been cheated, and he never felt ashamed for his behavior. Nnebe's wife always advised him against his greed and told him to change his ways, but he never listened and would rather shut her up by threatening to send her packing back to her parents if she keeps challenging him and telling him what to do. Cheta and Dima, Nnebe's daughter, who were of marriageable age, started getting suitors who wanted their hand in marriage. However, Nnebe screened them all and wanted his daughters to marry very rich men because he viewed his daughters as his retirement plan, as he believed he had invested in them by feeding and training them. Therefore, their bride prices had to be very substantial for all his hard work. Ipaka, who was Nnebe's friend on one of his many visits to him, while they ate fish and drank palm wine, advised him against the way he screened his daughter's suitors, which was based on the type of car they drove and if they had money to pay for his chieftaincy title taken in the future. And instead of taking his friend's advice, Nnebe rather insulted him by telling him he would die a poor man, as none of his children were successful, as his daughters were married to unsuccessful farmers and carpenters who could not even feed themselves, talk more of his daughters he married off to them. These words hurt Ipaka so much that he angrily left Nnebe's house and vowed never to return, and also terminated their friendship together. Nnebe continued to chase his daughter's suitors away, as there was even a time he missed a golden opportunity of marrying his daughter to a very rich man who came from the city. This rich man, however, in his quest for true love, wanted a woman who would love him for what he is and not for what he has. He approached Nnebe on a bicycle for his daughter Cheta's hand in marriage, and Nnebe, after sizing the man up, rejected his proposal and ridiculed him. The man eventually found another girl who loved him unconditionally to marry, and when Nnebe discovered he was rich but only disguised to get a good wife, he became very sad, as he had just missed a golden opportunity due to his greed. This, however, did not stop Nnebe from being greedy, as he was waiting for the day a rich man would come for his daughter's hand in marriage. Cheta and Dima, Nnebe's daughter, had different opinions on their father's choice of suitors, as Cheta supported her father by also insulting poor men who came to ask for her hand in marriage, while Dima, on the other hand, was ready to marry any good man who loved her genuinely, regardless of his status, either poor or rich. One day, a rich man who had a flashy car came to ask for Cheta's hand in marriage from Nnebe. And after sizing him up and seeing the kind of car the man drove, coupled with the cash gift he presented to him, Nnebe was very happy and welcomed the man with open arms, and he accepted the man's proposal to marry his daughter. Nnebe went further to tell the man how he hoped to take a chieftaincy title in the future and also build a very modern house to replace his old village house, and that he hoped the man who is to be his future in-law will pay for everything. The man, however, did not hesitate to assure Nnebe that he will incur the cost of everything he has mentioned and will even eventually buy Nnebe a car when the marriage rites to his daughter Cheta were concluded. This made Nnebe very, very happy, as he felt luck has finally shone on him. On the day of the wedding of Cheta to the rich man, Nnebe was the most overjoyed because he thought he had finally achieved his aim of getting his daughter married to a rich man who will henceforth provide for him, as he would not have to work a day in his life anymore. The wedding ceremony was attended by all and sundry, as the man threw a very lavish party to show off his wealth. After the ceremony, the rich man and Nnebe's daughter Cheta went to live in the city, and the rich man promised to fulfill all the promises he made to Nnebe after he had settled in with his wife in the city. Nnebe waited for months for his new in-law to fulfill his promises to him, yet he did not get anything, neither did he hear from him. Even his daughter Cheta did not attempt to communicate with her family or even come to the village, and this got Nnebe worried and desperate, as he was poor and was eagerly waiting for money his daughter or in-law would send him, which never came. Nnebe, due to his greed, grew impatient and decided to go to the city to see his daughter Cheta and his in-law, to collect everything the in-law had promised. And on his arrival to his in-law's house, he met Cheta and he challenged her on how she had forgotten about her poor parents in the village, and how his in-law has also not fulfilled his promises to him. Cheta then explained to him how all is not as it seems, as her husband was a very stingy man who even barely gave her money for food, despite the fact she lived in a mansion, and how he always humiliated her by treating her like a servant, as he did not even allow her to leave the house, and also forbade her from having friends, and that was one of the many reasons she had not visited her parents. As Cheta narrated her ordeal to her father, her husband, Nnebe's in-law, arrived from work, and immediately he walked into the house, he called on his security to throw Nnebe out of his house, as he did not entertain beggars or destitutes in his house. This came as a surprise to Nnebe, because he even tried to reintroduce himself to his in-law just in case he had magically forgotten his face. But this did not change anything, as the rich man still threw him out of his house and told Cheta never to allow her father into his house or he would throw her out too. Cheta cried and pleaded with her husband, all to no avail. Nnebe, who couldn't believe what just happened to him, sadly went back to the village and narrated what had happened to his wife, as he felt deeply betrayed by his in-law and was also sad for his daughter, as it was his greed for money and other material things that put her in that position. Nnebe's wife then reminded him of how she had warned him against his greed, and how this greed has made him not only lose his daughter, but also not gain anything from all the promises the rich man made him. Nnebe, having learnt his lesson, apologized to his wife and promised to turn a new leaf by becoming a better person who would not look down on anybody, and also try to be more honest in all his dealings henceforth. Nnebe had to resume repairing motorcycles and bicycles, as he had to make money in order to survive. This taught Nnebe a very bitter lesson, and from that day onward, he became honest, transparent, and never looked down on people. Dearest audience, our lessons for this story are: number 1, do not look down on anybody, because we never know who is who. Secondly, let's try to be contented with what we have, because contentment is king, and it will save you from all sort of humiliation and embarrassment. Thirdly, do not forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment on this video, as this will help other people come enjoy our stories. Dearest audience, till next time.